The Amex Platinum card cost me $1,450 every single year just to hold on to it. I've had this card now for the past 6 months, and in today's video, I'm going to go through what some of my favorite features about the card are, as well as some of the bad things that I've experienced over the past 6 months. So the first thing I want to discuss in today's video is if I've had any dramas over the past 6 months with this card. For me personally, aside from the $1,450 annual fee, there's been only one bad thing that I've experienced with the card. The only thing that I've experienced bad with this card is how Amex deal with transactions that I don't want to authorize. So at Christmas time, I had to top up some points because I needed some points urgently. I didn't have enough time to go and earn those points, so I just wanted to buy them. I was buying them from the Velocity website, and generally, so when I've bought points before on the Qantas website, and you just top them up, you get the points and they come pretty quickly. With Velocity, for some reason they had some issues with their site and it just wouldn't go through. It would keep being a pending transaction, and they would charge my credit card, it would charge as a pending transaction, and then the transaction would not complete. So I did this about 3 or 4 times in different ways, trying different credit cards, different browsers. I called them up to try to do it, same thing, it wouldn't go through. So I actually wasn't able to buy the points, but one of these pending transactions did slip through and it got authorized. It charged my Amex account and I didn't get any points. I called up Velocity to remove that charge and explain the situation, but I did have a lot of dramas dealing with them. They're very good at booking flights through the Velocity call center, but when I had an issue, I think because they outsource their call centers overseas, it was very, very difficult. It took a lot of time and they couldn't resolve it. Because of this, I thought the fastest way to solve the solution would be to ring up Amex, tell them to get rid of this transaction because I did not authorize it, and that would be the end of it. But it wasn't as simple as that. Amex told me that if we do want to get rid of this transaction, then that means I won't be able to use that card to buy anything from Velocity in the future. This to me is a big deal because if I block that transaction, I wouldn't be able to buy flights, I wouldn't be able to buy points from Velocity in the future using that card. And it's not as simple as closing that card and then getting a new card as well, because it's actually marked under your account. Amex didn't really give me a good solution on how I can stop this transaction. Their only response was to deal with Velocity, so that's what I ended up doing. It would have been a lot better if Amex could easily have resolved this, so in the future, when I do have a transaction I want to get rid of, but I still want to buy from that company, there is an option to do so. Aside from this, I've had no other dramas with the card and I really do love it. I prefer to use the Amex Platinum card over any of the other cards that I own. Next up, we're going to talk about some of the advertised benefits. These benefits are the ones where you go onto the home page and you're just about to sign up for the card and they're telling you that you're going to get this and this and this and this. I'm going to talk about if I've actually used any of these benefits over the past 6 months when I've had this card. So the first one would be the dining credit. You get a $200 dining credit when you use it in Australia and a $200 dining credit to be used overseas. This dining credit are for select restaurants only, but those restaurants that are on their program are the really good high-end restaurants. The type of restaurants that you take for good date nights, for good family dinners, the really nice restaurants that you probably want to be dining at. The credit gets automatically applied, so all you have to do is dine at one of these restaurants and it'll appear as a $200 credit on your account. I've used this benefit both for international and the local dining credit. It's definitely a benefit that I use. Next up, you get a $400 travel credit, which you can use on flights or accommodation when booking through the Amex portal. I travel a fair bit, so I've used this travel credit, which means I've used both the dining and the travel credit. So those two benefits alone have provided $800 worth of value. On the topic of using the travel credit, you can actually book one of the Fine Hotels and Resorts hotels that they have on their platform. Fine Hotels and Resorts program is one of the benefits that I love most about this card. Now, something to note is that it will generally be more expensive booking through the Fine Hotels and Resorts program than it would be if you just went on booking.com or if you went directly through to the hotel. However, saying that, the reason that I use this Fine Hotels and Resorts program is because you get a lot of benefits included. You'll get early check-in. Me personally, on my America trip at Christmas, we checked into a hotel at about 7:30 a.m. in the morning. The advertised rate is that you'll get check-in at about 12 p.m. But if the hotels have your room ready, in my experience, they've always helped out by providing an earlier check-in. You'll also get late checkout. 4 p.m. is the advertised checkout time that you get with this program, but I've personally checked out of hotels at 5:30 p.m. Just go and ask them what the latest time you can check out is. You'll also get breakfast included. You'll also usually get a $100 US dollar dining credit. And if they have the availability, they'll upgrade you to the next category of room available. This is another benefit that I love about the Amex Platinum card. Next up is the lounge access. For me, this is a benefit that I don't really use. You get priority pass, which have lounges all over the world. But for me personally, I don't really rate using airport lounges unless they are first class lounges. To me, the business class lounges or the priority pass lounges are just very meh. They have very, very limited food. I don't really drink. Not much use for me actually using it. I'd much rather go and prefer to eat at a restaurant at the airport. Something to note though, if you are into lounges, you can bring a friend with the priority pass, so you can bring yourself and also a friend into the lounge as well. And of course you get unlimited alcohol. So there are some benefits there, but for me personally, I don't use it. One of the benefits that I use the most with the Amex Platinum card is the refer a friend benefit. This means that you can invite your friend to get an Amex Platinum card and they'll get a bunch of sign up points when they join. And you'll also get a referral fee as well, usually somewhere between 50 to 75,000 bonus points when they join. This is a win-win because number one, the card is amazing. And if your friend is in the market to get the card, you can benefit and they also benefit because they'll get a lot of sign-up points as well. I absolutely love this feature. The only downside about it is they do cap how many people you can refer to, but generally you'll be able to earn around 300,000 bonus points. Next up is Accor. You do get a free Accor membership valued at $400 when you join this card. For me personally, I don't really use this membership. Now you do get a free night stay at an Accor property as well when you have the Accor membership, which is great. The only downside is this free night is not all of their Accor properties. And to be honest, they're really the lower end ones. If you want to use your free night stay at a higher end Accor property, you won't be able to do that, or they'll ask you to chip in some more money. Lastly, in the benefits that they heavily advertise is the travel insurance. The travel insurance is a great inclusion, but to be honest, the document that they have with all the fine print is so long and they're somewhat vague as to what they actually cover, is that if I'm going on a fairly risky trip, I will still get third-party travel insurance as well. What I mean by a risky trip is, for example, if I was going to Bali and I'm going to jump on some scooters, do some jet skiing, do some adventure activities, I can't really get a clear answer out of Amex as to what is covered and what is not covered. So for me personally, I get a third-party travel insurance as well. That way, if anything goes wrong, I have a very clear understanding that I should be covered with my third-party travel insurance. Failing that, possibly a backup, I will use the Amex travel insurance. For most normal trips where you're just traveling, hiring a car, and you're just worried about losing your luggage, the Amex Platinum travel insurance will have you covered. So those are some of the benefits that are heavily advertised. I now want to touch on what my biggest benefits of having the card are. And these benefits are the reason that I will probably never cancel my Amex Platinum card. So the first benefit about this card that I absolutely love is the fact that it is a charge card. A charge card is actually a game changer because in previous videos, I've talked about the importance of having a system where you integrate earning points throughout your life. And the way that we do this is by earning points on every single dollar that we spend. Now, typically, if you have a normal credit card, you'll get assigned a credit limit. For lower end cards, it could be $6,000, which is your credit limit. And for medium range cards, you'll be getting a $15,000 credit limit. What this means is that when you have a $15,000 card, you'll be able to spend up to $15,000 on that card before that card will stop working. This means if you have a $20,000 bill, you're unable to put that expense on your credit card because you can only max out your card to $15,000. The only thing I can think that would bypass that is if you front loaded your card up first, essentially treating it like a gift card. That way, if you put $20,000 onto your credit card, you should have $20,000 of credit that you can use on that credit card, which may be able to bypass you through that way. But with a charge card, it's a lot easier. So a charge card will basically work out how much you're using the card and then assign you a credit limit that will fluctuate according to how much you use it. For example, when I first got my Amex card, my credit limit was about $10,000. But I would use that card and pay it off, use that card and pay it off multiple times throughout the month. And now my credit limit is over 100,000. This is actually a really, really big deal, because if you are integrating a system in your life to earn points and you're putting through big expenses, if you're paying big tax bills, big BAS bills, and these bills are over $20,000, you can pay that on your credit card and earn the points for that bill. Now, most of the time you can't just use your Amex on that bill. You do have to use a third party to facilitate that transaction. If you do want me to make a video on how to do that, just leave a comment letting me know. So to summarize, the charge card is really, really important because it's going to allow us to get a nice high credit limit. So to summarize, a charge card just makes life a lot easier when we're putting a lot of expenses on our credit card and we don't have to worry about potentially maxing out and having our card decline. Now, when you're putting bills on your credit card, you're going to naturally earn points, which does bring us into the next big benefit as to why I love this card. And that is because you can earn Amex Platinum membership points, which are the best points that you can earn in Australia. The reason the Amex Platinum membership points are the best points that you can earn in Australia is because you can transfer them to about 15 different airline programs. The Amex Platinum card has the most airline partners that you can transfer your points to in the whole of Australia. The key ones are Qantas and Velocity. Being able to transfer your Amex Platinum membership points to both these programs is absolutely gold. It is not good enough in 2025 to just be earning Qantas points. You need to be able to earn these membership points and have the flexibility to transfer them to Qantas and Velocity, depending on which of these programs have reward seats. Now, sometimes both Qantas and Velocity won't have reward seats, and that's when you have to transfer your points to these different airlines. When you have the Amex Platinum membership points, you can transfer them to Qatar, Etihad, British Airways, Singapore Airlines program, Cathay Pacific. 15 different airlines you can transfer your points to. This card is the only one in Australia that gives you this flexibility. Sure, you can get around just by collecting Qantas points, but until you actually need the flexibility of transferring your points to the airline that has the availability at the time, you don't even know what you're missing out on. This was a perfect example when I went on holidays with my family at Christmas time. My family only have Qantas points. Qantas had no reward seats getting to America, but Velocity did. Luckily, I have Amex Platinum membership points, so I could transfer them to Velocity, get the reward seats, and we were off on our holiday. So something to mention would be when you're transferring these points through the Amex portal, they're pretty much instant. You don't have to wait multiple days and miss out on the reward seats. If I transfer my points from the Amex portal to Qantas, it will be there in a couple of minutes. Same goes with Velocity. I haven't checked if the same goes with all the different airlines, but I'm assuming if it works with Qantas and Velocity and it's pretty much instant, it will probably be the same with those other airlines. But being able to keep your points in the Amex portal and transfer only when you're about to book a reward seat is absolutely gold. So those are some of the reasons that I love the Amex Platinum card. Let's get into the summary. Will I hold on to this card? The Amex Platinum Personal Card is a card that I will probably never ever get rid of. For me personally, because I travel so much, there are so many benefits that I use that makes the card worth its weight in gold. For me personally, having the ability to transfer my points to all these different airlines makes the card worth holding by itself. I do actually have the business card as well. To be honest, that one's a bit 50-50. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that one or not. The reason behind that is because you don't get any of those benefits that you get with the personal card. If you would like me to discuss the Amex Platinum business card, please leave a comment letting me know. That is all for today's video. If you do need help, check the links in the description. I've got further resources in there. Other than that, I will see you in the next video.